Hello, how's it going? Welcome to the second channel. This is the T-Ash channel. I made one channel for ministry. I just posted my testimony video on that channel. And if you have not watched it, go and watch it. It'll be linked in the description below. And subscribe to both channels, that one and this one, if you haven't already, and all the other stuff that most other people say. And I really just wanted to post a bunch of random stuff on this channel, have fun, so we'll see what happens. I'm not trying to do anything too crazy. For the first video, I was just thinking about like, what am I putting a lot of time and energy into just in my free time, and how can I translate that over into a video and talk about that. And I've been buying a lot of shoes recently. I'm not proud of that, but I do enjoy it. I like shoes from a artistic standpoint, and the way that shoes are made and the way they are is just like an art piece in terms of the silhouette and the colorways and the stories behind certain shoes. And I also just like shoes that I think look cool, which is why most people buy shoes. I wanted to show you my sneaker collection. So I think like most people, you see like what other people are wearing and you kind of want to blend in like 5th or 6th grade. I'm wearing whatever my parents are buying me, so I'm not really worried about that. But I see people wearing this brand called Nike. I'm like, I want to fit in. So I think I borrowed like my dad's Nike dad shoes that were like 2 or 3 sizes too big for me. And I wore them and I could not do anything in them because they were massive. And then we get to middle school and everybody's wearing Vans, like most people in middle school. And Vans are a nice shoe. Still like Vans. It's a good church shoe. So I got a pair of Vans slip-ons, a pair of Vans old schools. And I kept doing that kind of stuff, like buying what everybody else is wearing. So I get to high school, I think maybe my sophomore or junior year, and I saw this pair of shoes. It was the 2021 VaporMax Flyknits. I saw this, it was just a bubble of air on the bottom of the shoe. Never seen that before, and I was like, that is so cool. And I convinced my parents to let me buy my own first pair of like crazy cool shoes with my McDonald's money, because I was working at McDonald's at the time. And I bought them on like one of the Nike sales days that they do in like the fall for like $100 less than they usually go for. And I loved those shoes, the comfiest pair of shoes I'd ever put on my feet. Still like that silhouette, still think it's a great silhouette, but that really sparked my interest in trying to get pairs of shoes. The next pair of shoes I got was a pair of Jordan 1 Lows. I think I got a pair of 650 New Balances, like the high top 550s. And then after that, I bought my oldest shoe that I still own, which are gray 990s. You see like a dad shoe and you're like, it's for dads, but like the big chunky look is kind of nice. Beat up, but I still like them. I got those. And then I believe the next pair of shoes I got were these ones right here, actually. Judah 1s. These say Exodus 3:14 on the back. They're actually listed on eBay right now, because I just don't wear them. But I love the Bible verse on the back, and I love the message behind them. Which would happen with me is I'd buy a shoe, I would wear the shoe until they're beat up, and then I'd buy another shoe, wear that shoe a lot, beat that up. Until I would probably consider the greatest shoe of all time, the Yeezy 350 V2 in the static colorway. This is probably like the second most comfortable thing I've put on my feet, and I wore these and I still wear these a lot. You can see in, so depending on the sock that you have, you can change the color. These laces are reflective, which is pretty cool, and they're kept pretty clean. Like 350s don't get dirty that often, and since like a few months ago, I've been just buying pairs of shoes that I think are awesome and trying to build a collection. I moved out a month and a half ago, almost 2 months ago, which also gave me more room to get more shoes. So now I have a rack with 12 shoes on it. I'm gonna fill up the entire shoe rack, and then I'll be done, and then I can wear out some shoes and I'll be like, oh, I probably should replace this. But I'm gonna collect a decent amount of shoes, and then whenever I move again, have more room. Maybe I'll be done with shoe collecting, just want to save money, not want to buy more expensive shoes. Yeah, so this is like, I believe the second oldest pair of shoes in this collection. The next pair of Yeezy that I have are these ones. But what ends up happening is this little stripe that you see becomes bright orange when you go outside, because the fabric and the stripe reacts to the UV rays. There starts being a pink tinge within the fabric. Next pair of Yeezys is a shoe that is very controversial, the Foam Runners. I bought it because I was mesmerized by the design. I think the design's really interesting, to say the least. When you really look at it, it is an ugly pair of shoes. Like, it does not look great, probably. but I really love it. I think it's one of the best looking shoes of all time. I don't know if that makes any sense, but who cares? I think the next one we'll talk about are the ones on my feet that I just got like a couple days ago. The Nike Rejuvenate slides. They're recovery slides, so I do wear them after I run because they kind of massage your foot, and it's the same foam that Nike puts in a lot of their running shoes, the React X foam. So they're a very well-made slide. Nike has been historically known for not making the best slides in the world, but these ones are probably the best slides you can get. We'll get into this new one. This is probably, that just fell. Anyway, this is probably my favorite pair of shoes in my collection that I just got. Not the best pair, because the best pair I have is probably the Static 350s. This is the most interesting. These are the Nike Zoom Field Jacks. This is Travis Scott's first signature shoe with Nike. The detail on the shoe is pretty cool. It says Cactus Jack on the toe. The bottom of the shoe says Cactus Corporation. I think it's really interesting. Obviously, you get that little strap, which is really cool. It says Shark, and it has a little smiley guy on the back. So it's like a mashup of a old Nike running shoe and an old Nike baseball cleat. I'll show you these boots. I bought these for like maybe $40. I'll probably get a pair of Timberlands at some point, but I like these. These are cool. But yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you stuck around to the end, hit that like button, subscribe, follow all the things, and I'll see you in the next one. Praise God. God bless. Peace out.